Hello you guys. So today I want to talk about this comment right here, and people always mentioning ICE. Either mentioning that my family needs to be worried about ICE or that I need to be worried about ICE. Now, all of my family members are 100% legally here in the United States of America, darlings, okay? And so am I. And unless I have other family members that I don't know that have gone through the border, okay, all of my family members are legal, okay, from what I know of. Now, I had made a video about the white refugees, and that's why somebody made this comment. South Africa in general is going through its own just crisis of dilemma and chaos. And I was talking about how it's not just necessarily white people causing the issue. There's a lot of unalivings that happen already in South Africa every single year, and there is a target also on white people, white Boers, the farmers, okay? They have their own language that is different from white Afrikaners. White Afrikaners, some of them do speak English, and Boers, they speak their own language, and they have been prosecuted in the past already. So there is different nuances when it comes to them, and I think accepting a few of them into the United States is not the biggest issue, especially if they're going to be helping in the farming industry, which I know some people have been talking about, and that's not an issue. Now, there is evidence of people, especially in Parliament, targeting white people and the unaliving of white people. So for people to suggest that, oh, they're just lying, is kind of disingenuous, because there's evidence that points otherwise. I have my own ideas when it comes to immigration. We need to worry about our own people in the United States of America before we're worried about immigrants in general. We don't have to just take new immigrants all the time just because we can. We can even stop when it comes to legal immigration and just focus on our own citizens, because right now there's human rights violation happening when it comes to Native Americans, and I believe that we need to be worried about this. Okay? And because we want to talk about open air prison in Palestine, well, Native Americans in the reservations are going through in their own version of open air prisons. Okay, when you do not have the ability to charge somebody who has unalived you or who has done something horrendous to your family, that is a form of imprisonment. Okay, I also do not like that a lot of our citizens aren't taking jobs that are necessary, core to the development of the United States, and we often leave this to immigrants. Our own citizens are taking degrees in topics such as psychology or social science. They're studying how to hate one another. A lot of our students are not being taught core American values. They're actually being taught communism, and the degrees that a lot of the North American citizens are graduating in just proves this. If you actually look into the degrees, it's insane. People who are non-US citizens, these students are taking degrees that are helping develop the United States, and I believe that we should drive our own American citizens towards that. Now, I also am 100% against illegal immigration, because a lot of illegal immigration causes a lot of slavery and traffic lights of a lot of innocent people, and there is a lot of exploitation and just violence and groups that are huge in Latin America that we need to actually address. And honestly, Latin Americans also need to be concerned about illegal immigration and legal immigration in general within Latin America, because a lot of the times when we talk about America, we like to just talk about the United States of America, but America is a continent, and America, even within wars, has worked as a continent, and that has been crucial. We cannot allow communism within Latin America or within the United States, not through our students, not through other political movements, or within Latin America either. In Latin America, there is also illegal immigrants coming in and just staying there. There's also illegal immigrants going through our own borders and going into the Mexican border. And this is causing a lot of violence as well, and just unnecessary issues. Latin Americans, especially if you're so for pro immigration, you should be concerned about the fact that a lot of immigrants that are not native to Latin America end up coming to Latin America and doing much better and having and given much more movement than the own natives within Latin America. This is an issue that we need to address. Now, there's a lot of illegal immigrants here, and like I have said before, white people, black people, Asian people, they are all groups of people that come into North America illegally, okay? So it's not just Latin Americans that need to worry about ICE, okay? It's other groups of people. You know, I've even have had my own family, my own foster family in Guatemala ask me if they should come. Like, one of my aunts has asked me if she should come and bring her children, and I said no. Do you not see what is going on with the women and the children? Absolutely not. I am not going to encourage this kind of behavior, because a lot of people who encourage this, and especially people who put people like Abrego Garcia, whatever his name is, the criminal, you know, when people put him as the face of immigrants, it's very insulting to other people who have come through legally. And it's very insulting because you're putting a criminal that is part of the violence, part of the problem in Latin America, which is gangs. And in North America, there's a gang problem within Latin Americans also. So I do not find this appropriate, and I really do not appreciate when liberals push for criminals like this to represent Latin Americans, because I support legal migration, at least if we're going to encourage migration. Latin Americans need to address the root of the problem instead of encouraging more migration. You know, I used to be a liberal, so I understand why people push for immigration, but it's not addressing the issue, and a lot of times people don't even know why people are leaving. So that's an issue too. And when I was listening to conservatives, their viewpoints are so sensible, and they're actually addressing the root of the problem.